Okay, so just find your nice seat. Let me go ahead and pin my video too. If I don't do that, then I can't get it on YouTube. There we go. All right, so first and foremost, let's roll the shoulders back. You can go slow or fast and just take the temperature of what's going on. Mine are particularly tight today. Maybe you're in that camp as well. So just kind of noticing. And sometimes I even find here as I'm doing that, if I create a little tension, I get a little more stretch. And then as you start to relax a little more, it feels extra good. And then let's start to roll forward. Good, roll back again. And if you are creating a little tension, start to let that go. So you're just finding a nice sense of ease, and then just allow your shoulders to relax down. You can take your hands on your thighs. And before we sit quietly for a moment, let's actually move right into little cat-cow. So as you inhale, rock forward. So you're finding that arch in your lower back, shoulder heads are pressing back. And then as you exhale, you go in the opposite direction, chin towards chest. Inhaling, arching. Beautiful, beautiful work. As you exhale, round in. And maybe close your eyes here if that feels okay, and just continue to move with your breath. So inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, and just finding this extension and flexion in your spine. Paying attention to your spine and to how things are feeling. Where is there a sense of ease? Where are there places of tightness and tension? Couple more rounds like this, nice and easy. And sometimes it's really nice to just connect with this flow right away. For many of us, it feels really meditative. It has this calming quality. It's a little easier to move towards stillness with this first, as opposed to just sitting quietly. All right, so let's go ahead and come back upright. Sitting nice and tall. You can be pressing back into your chair here. You can be forward a little bit, pressing down into your sit bones. Just find a place where you feel comfortable. And if your eyes aren't closed, close them. And just take a moment to sit in stillness. There's effort as we sit here, but also you want to make sure that you're not gripping in places that you don't need to. So are the shoulders creeping up around the ears? Are you gripping the inner thigh? Is there a softness in your belly so you can take nice deep breaths? And just noticing these things. So balancing the effort with a sense of ease. You're bringing your attention to that sound of your breath. So you're listening to that inhale and that exhale. And of course, you're going to get distracted by sounds happening in the room you're in, even outside the room you're in. When you observe that your attention is drifted, you come back to your breath. And of course, there's also the sounds happening inside the head. Those are usually a little louder. Some days louder than others. So the same thing applies when you become aware of the fact that you've attached to a thought or an idea, you've kind of time traveled a little bit, just smile, let it go, come back to your breath. You might have to do it 1,000 times the next hour. That's okay. So trying to cultivate this idea of mindfulness, build this mindfulness muscle as much as we work the muscles in our body in our yoga practice. Good. Gently blink your eyes open. And let's just start to rock around in that pelvic girdle. These can be small circles. They can be big. Little bit of both. You can get the shoulders, the neck, the head involved. And just kind of enjoying this free form movement. And then switching directions. Beautiful work. Good. So let's come up right here and then just do a little lateral side to side stretching. So release your arms by your side. As you inhale, take your left arm up and over. So leaning to the right, doesn't have to be very deep starting out. As you exhale, release down. It doesn't have to be very deep ever. As you inhale, right arm comes up. Always just going to that place in your body that feels good, where you're getting a little sensation. And then you're just moving with the breath here. So inhaling, reaching, exhaling, releasing down. If you want to get into the neck a little bit and it feels okay, you begin to bring your gaze up underneath that lifted arm. That can challenge the balance a little bit. If that's the case for you, just keep looking forward. You're listening to that sound of your breath, and you can always modify as you need to here. So if there's anything going on in your shoulders, maybe you're just doing more of a lean to the side, or kind of just lifting the elbow. So there's always ways to modify. Always feel welcome to play around, to skip things if you need to. Let's just be here a few more rounds each side. Really enjoy how it feels to flow with the breath here and to take up space. Good. And then the next time you're reaching that left arm up overhead, so leaning to the right, just hold there for a breath or two. You might even take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh or the inside of your right thigh. If you want to, you can just keep releasing down. And again, you can bend this top elbow if that feels a little better in the arm. Fill up on your inhale. Empty out on your exhale. Good. As you exhale, release that left arm down. And then inhale, right arm comes up and over. Whatever that looks like on this side, if you wanted to get in a little deeper, you could take left hand to the outside of your right thigh or the inside of your left thigh. So just giving yourself a little leverage there. These look great. Full, complete, smooth breathing. Good. As you exhale, release, and let's just get into the shoulders again. So inhale, scrunch them up towards your ears. And again, find that tension, holding the breath here. Ha, let it go. Feel that sense of relief. Couple more times. It's amazing how well this works. Good. So let's get into a little bit of a hip opener here. So a couple of options. You can either cross your right ankle above your left thigh, knee, or you can just simply open up the hip here as well. So they're both good places to be. Maybe see where feels right in your body. Maybe do the one where you get the most stretch. They're both kind of getting into the same place. So you can take your right hand, gently press back. That's going to help you to find a little more opening Conversely, if you're in the seated version, in this seated pigeon pose, you can take your right hand and gently press down. As you're doing this, wherever you're at, whatever variation, you're rooting down into both sit bones. You're lengthening through the sides of your waist, so you're sitting nice and tall. And this can be really intense. So keep that breath moving. Use the breath as a tool to help you be in these uncomfortable postures. And then let's find a little shoulder stretch here. So we're going to keep our legs like this. We're going to have lots to focus on. Take your arms out nice and wide. We're going to give ourselves a hug. So we're going to take the right arm underneath, left arm on top. So elbows stack. Then go ahead and start to lift the elbows up. Feel your shoulder blades release down towards your sit bone. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring the backs of your hands together. You might even be able to reach around and press palms. And again, just find a little lift of elbows as shoulder blades release. So feeling this in the backs of the shoulders, maybe even the tricep area a little bit. What's going on with the breath? And then nice and easy, let's just start to find a little twist to the right. And you don't have to go very deep, but starting to release those left ribs to the right. Nice, really nice. Keep the elbows lifting. So we're feeling the twist, we're feeling the shoulders, we're feeling the hip opening. Couple more breaths. Just be with the intensity. Good. Inhale back to center. And then just stretch the arms out. Oh, it should feel like a sigh of relief. Release the arms down. And let's do one more little forward fold variation here. If it feels comfortable in your body, if you're getting a good stretch in the hips, just stay here like this. If you would like to forward fold a little bit, you're welcome to do that. You can just rest your hands on your shins, your thighs. If you have blocks or a table or a desk in front of you, you could put your hands there. And of course, you can also be doing this if you're more in those warrior two legs. So, and this just might take the stretch into different places. This can be a nice one for the lower back. Always trying to find, that place of sensation, but not pushing so far that it feels so intense that you can't hold the pose. So you're always welcome to back out a little bit if you need to. Nice work. Couple more breaths. Good. And then go ahead and rise on up here. Make your way out of this. Find your Tadasana. Before we take our second side, let's just have a little neck stretch intermission. So hands resting on your thighs. Start to let your chin release down towards your chest. As you do this, I notice that my shoulders want to creep up. So release them down. It might even help you to reach your arms by your sides. So you're just using gravity to help you pull down a little bit. And especially starting these neck stretches out, I always find it's really challenging to let the back of the neck go. So just know that it might take a little bit of work here, but do your best to release the grip of the muscles in the back of the neck. It's little guys that work really, really hard. It's hard for them to chill out. Good. Keep your chin tucked like this. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, keep your chin tucked. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale. Chin stays tucked as you bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Inhale to center. Good. Exhale to the right. Keep shoulders really heavy, releasing down. Ooh, inhale to center. And then exhale. to the left. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Good. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale to center. All right, so this time, go nice and slow. Take several breaths as you start to bring that right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're moving slow. You're taking the scenic route, going slower than the speed limit. And I want you to notice all the little places where you start to feel that stretch through the left side of your neck, how it shifts, how you get into different spots. And there might be spots where you need to stay for a couple of breaths. Release the shoulders down. Make sure the breath is moving. So these little intense stretches sometimes cause us to hold our breath. We're not even aware that we are. If you want a little more here, maybe you bring your right hand very gently to the top of your head. Just apply a little pressure. As you do that, you're going to make a choice. Does this feel right? Does it feel like too much? If it's too much, you skip it. You can just feel all the scalene muscles on that left side starting to release, starting to lengthen out. Let's use our right hand to bring our head up right here. And then just release your chin towards your chest here. A couple of breaths. And notice already how the muscles in the back of the neck are beginning to let go. This is feeling easier than that first time. And then we take that journey to the second side. So chin stays tucked. There's zero rush. You're moving as slow as you can. Maybe taking several breaths in places where you're getting a nice stretch. Just trying to find a little space, a little room, a little ease. Maybe noticing how this side is different in your body, if it's different. And then if you'd like, maybe take your left hand, gently apply a little pressure to your head, being super mindful. So is this working for you today? Is it too much on this side? If so, skip it. Keep that breath moving. Maybe visualize the exhale going to the muscles on the right side of the neck, just kind of stretching things out, creating some space and ease. Good. And then you can use your left hand to your cheek to upright your head. And we'll do the second side of our legs here. So coming into the hip opener, again, option one would be to just open up this left thigh. It doesn't matter how deep that is. You just go to the place where you're feeling a little stretch. And then if you want to take the variation where you cross your left ankle above your right knee, you can do that as well. So for some of us, just coming into this, we're going to feel a pretty intense stretch, so you might not need any more. If you do want a little more sensation, maybe you gently press down with your left hand or back. And you keep breathing. And you get curious about how this pose is feeling on this side of your body. And again, we're going to stay in this hip stretch, but we're going to get into the shoulders a little bit as well. So as you inhale, take your arms out wide. Give yourself a hug. Left arm comes underneath, right arm on top. So rooting into your sit bones, elbows stack and they start to lift, but your shoulder blades are releasing down towards your tailbone. Breath smooth and steady, gaze soft and gentle out in front of you. And you're welcome to stay here like with your arms. Maybe the backs of your hands can press together. Maybe you can do the full pretzel, pressing palms together. So one variation is not better than the other. They're all essentially doing the same thing. It just looks different in everybody's body. Even day to day, some days certain things just feel really great in our yoga practice. Some days are just not happening. Good. And then again, just a nice little gentle twist here. So I want you to keep your brain down in your sit bones. So you root there, but as you exhale, gentle, gentle twist to the left. You're probably not going to go terribly deep with the arms like this, but just notice where it changes, where you're getting stretch and sensation in your body. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Good, just stretch the arms out. That'll feel good. And staying here, or if you want to come into a little forward fold. So again, you can rest your hands on that left shin, right thigh. If you have blocks or a table in front of you, you can use that as a little prop. And you might just be staying upright. This side might look different. Always okay. Most important thing is to feel really stable and safe and find that good stretch in your body. Couple more breaths. Good. As you inhale, come on up. And then you're just going to release. You're going to come back to center. So I didn't say this at the beginning of class, but if you do have a strap or a sweatshirt or a hand towel or something that you can use, let's just do some shoulder humblers here. And if you don't have something, you're just going to I'm going to give you a variation. So if you don't have one, no worries about that. If you do, it can be really nice, a good way to get into your shoulder. So I'm going to give everybody a second to grab something. Could be a belt, a scarf, just anything that you can hold out pretty wide. And if you know where I'm going, you just might want to pretend that you don't have a strap, since this isn't always the funnest. It's like it hurts so good. All right. Okay, so here are the options. So if you do have something, and you're gonna potentially have to adjust here, as you can see, I'm pretty wide on my strap. So I'm pulling out. I'm gonna take a nice deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, ooh, and this is where you feel it. This is where you might need to go wider. And then you release down, and then inhale, come on up. Good. Exhale, come forward, which feels so much easier, but you can still find that action of pulling out on the strap, so giving yourself a little resistance. Inhale up. Nice work. And then exhale, pull back. Good. So you're going to continue like that if you have the strap. And if you don't have the strap, let's see. You can just take your arms out wide And then you're going to pull back. So you're going to try to bring your elbows towards each other. It's going to almost be like a little cat-cow sensation. And then exhale, come forward, kind of bringing your elbows towards each other. So both really good little variations, just warming up the shoulders, loosening up the shoulders. Good. So let's do one more complete cycle. So you're going to go back one more time and forward one more time. And then you'll just end with the strap up overhead. Good. And then you'll go ahead and just release. Just take a break so you can have your hands on your thighs. You can keep the strap handy. Since we have it, since we've gone to the effort of getting it, let's do one more little shoulder stretch. So we're going to come into our Gomukhasana arm, so our cow face arm. So you're going to take your strap over the right shoulder. And you may or may not need it, but it's nice to have. Good. So first, let's just take our right arm in front. You can hold on with your left hand. You might hook with your left elbow. You're using the strength of your left arm to pull that right arm in a little bit. And this variation gives you a nice little stretch on that outer arm, that tricep. You're going to feel it in the shoulder. Are you breathing? Make sure that you have a nice, smooth, deep inhale and a full, complete exhale. Good, one more deep inhale. Good, exhale, release. And we're gonna inhale, stretch your right arm up. So your palm is facing to the left. Spin that palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow. And you're gonna grab your strap here. So this might be where you stay. You could take your left hand on top and gently press down. In fact, let's all do that to start because it feels really nice. It gives this great stretch, kind of the armpit area, the outseam of the arm. So if this is really intense in your body, if you're getting a really great stretch in the right arm, just stay here like this. If you would like to play with introducing a little shoulder stretch in that left shoulder, go ahead and take your left arm out wide, so perpendicular. Thumbs up here, and then do a thumbs down. So your palm is facing behind you. And I like to go nice and slow as I do this. It gives me a great stretch, kind of the side of the left neck, the shoulder. So angling down, and then you are gonna bend your elbow. And this is where you're probably gonna find your strap here. So I'm gonna turn around. So I'm doing opposite of you right now. You can see I'm clasping the strap. That was hard to say. And as you do that, as you're here, you're really stretching this right elbow up, but you're pressing this left shoulder head back. You're rooting evenly into your sit bones. Oh, and some days this is so intense. So a lot of tension, a lot of stress. We carry it in the neck and shoulders, especially if we've been in the car a lot or at the computer a lot. Sometimes just like being human a lot. I think that's mostly it. Starts to show up here. So keep breathing. Back off a little bit if you need to. Modify if you need to. One more deep inhale. And then exhale. So release. And then let's press the walls away here. So another little stretch on the inseam of the arm. And then make fists with your hands. And then just start to circle your wrists, which can feel really great. Start to switch directions. Nice work. Good. Release your arms down. And then we're just going to move the strap to that left side. All right, we're going to see how this side feels in our bodies. So first things first, just crossing left arm across your chest, hooking with elbow, holding with hand. Might be upper arm, might be lower arm. This side might feel a lot different. Wherever you're at, you're just using the strength of your right arm to help bring that left arm towards your chest. Even if you're way out here, it all counts. It's all yoga. Right away, noticing how this side feels different, letting that left, or encouraging rather, that left shoulder blade to release down, left shoulder to release down. If you have one side, a lot of shoulder stuff going on, maybe you're just skipping this. You could always, do some rounds of cat-cow or take a little child's pose, so just resting your head on a desk in front of you, table in front of you. All right, so let's release here. All right, and then we're going to inhale, stretch this left arm up, so palm is facing towards the right. Good, spin that palm to face behind you any amount, bend the elbow, and then take your right hand, gently press on top. So it's this really great stretch through the armpit, the outer arm. You are welcome to stay here like this. If you're getting a good stretch, this is the place to be. Otherwise, if you want to get into that right shoulder head a little more, extend your right arm out perpendicular to that shoulder. So thumb is pointing up. Bring it to face down. Good. And then go nice and slow. Kind of just finding that diagonal with the arm. And then you go ahead and bend the elbow. Grab that strap and then just use that leverage to press the right shoulder head back as you stretch your left elbow up. How does this side feel different in your body? Does it feel different? Breath smooth and steady. Really beautiful work. It's not easy to hold these shoulder stretches. All right, let's inhale, release. Good, and then take your arms perpendicular again. And then let's just point our fingertips down and then maybe try to curl your fingertips up towards your wrist. Just notice where you get a stretch there. Oof, intense. And then point your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good, as you exhale, release. Okay, so let's find a little twisting just to help us get into the lower back area, into the spine. And off of the shoulders for a minute, which will be a nice change of scenery. All right, so let's go ahead and take right thigh over left thigh. So just kind of finding those eagle pose legs. Then of course, if that doesn't work in your body, you can just be here in Tadasana. So especially with this twisting, that will definitely work. Wherever you're at, I want you to find your sit bones. Make sure that you're pressing evenly there. And then we're going to inhale, take our arms out wide. Good. As you exhale, nice and gentle. Think twisting from the lowermost rib, and then all of the rest follow along. You might not go very deep at all. Good, and then go ahead and grab a piece of chair behind you with your right hand. Left hand can come to your knee, thigh. So you're just applying a little pressure to give yourself a little leverage to twist in. And you should be feeling this outer right hip. You're feeling it, of course, through the torso where you're getting that twist. Lower right back area. Twists can be really intense, so sometimes you need to do a little less. You don't need to go very far to feel sensation. So always listen to that in your body. Maybe you begin to bring your gaze out over your right shoulder if that feels okay in the neck. And then today, perhaps, you've done a lot to stretch out the neck. Maybe start to lean your right ear towards that right shoulder. So you're just finding that intensification of stretch through the left side of the neck, those scalene muscles. Good. As you inhale, start to upright your head. Let's stay in the twist here, but begin to bring your gaze out over that left shoulder. A nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, unwind. Just take a breath or two here. Just feel everything releasing. Notice how you feel. And let's take that to the second side. So uncrossing that right thigh. And again, you can just be here for the twist into Tadasana. That will absolutely work. If you do like that variation where you take the left thigh over, you're welcome to do that. And I should add, you could do this pose in bed. It's a great little hip stretch. In fact, maybe I'll just demo that after I get you into this left side, what that looks like. All right, so here we go. Inhale, arms reach. Good, and then as you exhale, oops, I cheated first. So just start to twist to the left, really generate that from the lowermost right rib, and then all of the others stack and follow along. You're stretching out through your arms for a couple of breaths. And then go ahead and grab a piece of chair behind you, right hand to right knee, upper thigh, just find the place where you feel good. Notice if shoulders are creeping up around your ears, soften them down. Maybe begin to bring your gaze out towards that left shoulder, and then tuck the chin, if that feels okay. Getting that stretch to the right side of the neck. Good, inhale, lift your chin. And then exhale, stay in the twist, but start to bring your gaze out over that right shoulder. Breath smooth and steady. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind here. And I'm gonna just demo what this would look like if you were in bed and laying down. So just another way you could do this. So I'll give you a couple variations here. So again, these twists can be they're nice for the entire spine, but they can be especially good for lower back stuff. So on your back, would hug your knees in, and then bring your arms out wide, and then you would just allow the knees to fall off to one side. And you could always, if it's really intense, grab a pillow, kind of just stack it underneath. So this feels really nice laying down. You're kind of using gravity to help you find this. You would do that to both sides. And then for some of us, the cross-legged variation feels good. For others of us, it feels a little too intense, but it's the same thing. And you might find that you have to kind of scoot your hips in the opposite direction of the way you're falling, and then the knees come over. But it's this great stretch. This leg that's on top, I'm feeling it in that lower back area. So great one to do when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night. It's hard to like do it in the middle of the day sometimes, but you're kind of already in that place right before you go to bed. So that's basically what we just did, seated, except for laying down. And we are almost at time here. So I want you to go ahead and find a posture where you can just relax. So whether that's coming into a child's pose, just using a table or a chair in front of you to rest your forehead. If you just want to sit quietly in meditation, if it is available to you to get on the floor and come into a classic Shavasana, you're always welcome to do that as well. Well, let's just go ahead and take these final moments to check in, to slow down, to rest after the hard work that we've done, and kind of just assimilate everything into our bodies, into our brains. At this stage of the game, you just let your breath find its own natural rhythm, whatever that looks like. Find that idea again of sitting with this sense of presence and integrity, but also this sense of ease. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mritya ma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Next inhale is deeper. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Bring some gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles, wrists, stretch out, anything that feels good. And then place your palms in a pile on top of your heart. Send yourself, send your body love and gratitude. Just soak up all of the good work you've done today, this good feeling you've created, and just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this feeling with you into the rest of the week ahead. And just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. So good to see all of you. Thank you.